All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to try this again. I just shot a brand new video for you, and the whole computer crashed and got corrupted. So God's will, as I always say, let's do this. It's November 4th, 2022. And I believe Donald Trump, the former president of the United States, will be indicted right after the November 8th midterms. And I think days after that, he will announce his presidential run. But before I get started, please like and share this critical update. It is November 4th, 2022. So we are building up to a very contentious midterm election. In fact, Kari Lake, running for governorship of Arizona, said on Fox News that she's not suicidal, referring to Hillary Clinton, and that the brakes on her car are working just fine. I mean, this is how absolutely out of control the political system is today. And it appears that the Republicans have a very good chance of taking the House, although less likely that they'll take the Senate. But here's why I think Donald Trump announces after the indictment. And there's a reason why politicians are waiting until after the midterms, November 8th, to indict Donald Trump. And that's so it doesn't look like they're interfering with the election. Also, I think that this will build a lot of Trump's base right after being indicted and then announcing his run for the president of the United States once again, similarly to how his base really rallied behind him after the raid on Mar-a-Lago. Also, we had over 180 North Korean fighter jets scramble near the DMZ line, sparking South Korea and really U.S. forces to send out 80 fighter jets in very contentious air traffic control yesterday. I tweeted this last night. Make sure to follow me at AMTV Media because it's very serious. Kim Jong-un has fired over 20 missiles a few days ago. He fired many more yesterday, and a failed ICBM intercontinental ballistic missile that could in fact be nuclear tipped. In fact, it came so close to Japan that the Japanese prime minister ordered emergency shelter for its citizens. And also in the news, Jim Rickards yesterday, who is an insider, has worked with former presidents of the United States and also intelligence agency, is warning that Russia has gathered the technical and forensic evidence to prove, these are the accusations, showing that the United Kingdom sabotaged the Nord Stream pipelines with the U.S. approval. Now, if this is to be believed, and these accusations are correct, he says that evidence will be coming in the next few days, this would be a technical act of war against Germany. Of course, the pipelines having recently been blown up and setting Europeans really on the verge of freezing this winter as they've seen prices skyrocket out of control, but Germany being disproportionately affected by this pipeline blowup. It's also notable that Liz Truss, who I always believed was the fall girl, notice I think they used her as a pawn and then they had her exit after like 40 days so that they can blame any accusations or evidence that come out by Russia, proving the possible fact that it was the U.S. and the United Kingdom that actually blew up these pipelines intentionally. Again, that would be considered an act of war against Europe and Germany. It's also notable that German leadership is meeting with China's XI right now as we speak, and XI actually had some terse words for the first time on Russia's possibility of using nuclear weapons in Ukraine. So we are sitting, ladies and gentlemen, at a precipice that is a worst case scenario that major hedge fund managers, and I think this was greatly overlooked within the last few days, hedge fund giant Elliott warns looming hyperinflation could lead to a global, quote, societal collapse. So we're in a situation, this is a hedge fund, by the way, that has only lost money 2 times out of its 45-year history. Think about how incredible that is. But we're in a situation in the United States where interest payments on over $31 trillion in U.S. debt is about to exceed what we spend on the Defense Department. So if they hold rates above the 4% level as they've been hiking, and I've suggested that they're pivoting, don't believe a thing that they've said, just like the Federal Reserve lied and said that they were going to inflation was transitory and it wasn't. They're lying now saying that they're not pivoting. The only thing that you can count on is that they're going to continue monetizing debt. But if they allow rates to sit above 4% where they sit now and move to 5%, for about like 3 years, interest on the debt will double. So this is clearly unsustainable. Again, we're about to exceed on the interest payments alone the Defense Department budget. This is insane. Think about those statistics for a moment. So as South Korea is scrambling jets to combat over 180 North Korean warplanes sent to the skies, I believe that it looks much more like North Korea as a proxy is going to get the World War III started in this part of the world, and it'll be the blame game. Also, Elon Musk in the news finally admitted something that I've been warning about for years now, that the reason for his Twitter acquisition is it's the public conscious mind milieu that he's going to use as the general artificial intelligence to plug into his other companies that he owns, like Neuralink, which is taking chips and inserting them into the cerebral cortex of human beings' brains. He's, of course, tested this on monkeys and also pigs, and now he's testing it on human beings. He also proved my point earlier today by saying that he's made no changes to the Twitter governance and moderation yet, and he still has Fortune 100 companies and advertisers leaving the platform, taking a huge, giant revenue hit. Now, this is interesting because he said he's going to restore free speech, but he's actually admitting now, he says Twitter hasn't changed its content moderation strategy at all, and added that the company has done everything we could to appease the activists. So basically, it's the same company as it was with Jack Dorsey. And I posed this question earlier: name me one Fortune 100 company or big tech company that isn't on the left and supports conservatism, libertarianism, and more freedom-oriented values. And my audience couldn't really name one. The only company I could think of was Under Armour. So disproportionately, every single Fortune 100 company and big tech company is on the left. And so all these sponsors of Twitter are fleeing the platform, even when Musk says he hasn't even changed any moderation or content strategy at the company. And he's actually working with the activists that are pushing against him. So we are at the precipice, ladies and gentlemen. Also, I wanted to notate that Ye was obviously MK Ultra. Let me shrink my head and show you this real quick. Was obviously MK Ultra by Hollywood leadership and the elites. Take a look at this. This is what I said originally when he had gone into the med ward out in LA. He says this, he tweets from his phone. This is speaking to a Hollywood trainer. He says, I'm going to help you one of a couple ways. First, you and I sit down and have a loving and open conversation, blah, blah, blah. And then he says, second option, I have you institutionalized again, where they medicate the crap out of you and you go back to zombie land forever. Play date with the kids just won't be the same. So for those of you that don't know, MK Ultra is a CIA program that they say that they've abolished now, but I would argue that they haven't. It's a illegal human experimentation program that the government did. The program designed and undertaken by the CIA intended to develop procedures and identify drugs that could be used in interrogations to weaken individuals and force confessions through brainwashing and psychological torture. It began in 1953. This is your loving government, by the way. Was reduced in scope, they say, in 1964 and 1967, and was halted in 1973. MK Ultra used numerous methods to manipulate its subjects' mental states and brain functions, such as the covert administration of high doses of psychoactive drugs, especially LSD and other chemicals, electro brain shocks, hypnosis, sensory deprivation, isolation, and verbal and sexual abuse. So basically, torture. And this is Wikipedia. So they're telling you what the government has done in the past, and I would argue that they've done again regarding Ye and formerly otherwise known as Kanye West. And again, I go back to that tweet. He says specifically, this is a Hollywood trainer, second option, I have you institutionalized again where they medicate the crap out of you and you go back to zombie land forever. Play date with the kids just won't be the same. So basically proves Ye's point, although I don't agree with all of his points, that it appears that he was medically altered years ago. And notice he was resurrected after what I believe was an MK Ultra event. And his first public display and meeting, guess who it was with, guys? I think you know the answer. Donald Trump, the very polarizing, controversial political figure. So I would argue Ye is actually running a psyop right now and doesn't even know it. that something must have triggered Ye in the psychological operation to create more division in this two-party political system that I personally don't believe in. I don't think, even though Kari Lake has good intentions in place, she's saying good things, I don't think that matters. Who's the governor? If she wins or someone else wins. I see the political system is exactly the same. In fact, I see every country in the world implementing the exact same policies over the last couple of years with really no differentiation at all. I don't see much difference between China or the United States, quite frankly, or any other country. So we're entering a situation again where what's the mainline story? The mainline story is economic, financial, hyperinflationary collapse that hedge fund giant Elliott is warning could lead to total societal breakdown and collapse. And they're saying things like what I'm saying. These are the smartest people in the world, by the way, that just because you've lived through 2008 and 09 and you've lived through the dot-com bust and recently what happened in 2020 doesn't mean you're prepared for hyperinflation and societal breakdown. 9 out of 10 Americans are actually worried of political and civil unrest here in the United States as a result of the upcoming midterms next week and also the 2024 election. So again, in summation, I believe Donald Trump will be indicted right after November 8th. He will then announce his run for president of the United States. Also, DeSantis, who's built up a lot of support, will only help split the party vote on the Republican side if he chooses to run as well. So this is going to be total political chaos, just like expected. It's going to divide the masses even more and keep them focused on this two-party system and the comments Kari Lake is making and all these things. Even though I kind of like what she's saying and I agree with her in a lot of her points, I just don't think it solves any real-world problems. I mean, I'd run for politics if I thought that there was actually a solution, but I know the political system is so rotten to the core and deeply evil and satanic, I would never get involved in something that I know is absolutely compromised. I mean, the only answer now, ladies and gentlemen, is Jesus Christ, our King, and to really just pray unceasingly. We also have massive crypto news. Fidelity is opening up free, commission-free trading of all cryptocurrencies, and they also announced today, along with their partners, 401k options to own Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other cryptos. And by the way, we are skyrocketing today. Get in at the Academy at islandprojectclub.com. You'll get my recent 2 picks, which I think can 1000x. One is up over 10% today. It was up 10% yesterday as well. My Dogecoin pick that I went public with was up 100%. It was a 100% gain for our Island Project Club Insider members. Plus, you can reserve a phone call with me for about 15-20 minutes in a private consult. And you also get early bird roadmap access to our future public launch of the Island Project. So make sure you get into that today. You can take a look here at our portfolio. I'll give you a sneak peek. Everything's rallying across the board. We even see Coinbase stock rallying today. Bitcoin trading near 21K. ETH up 6% again. XRP up 7.6%. These are massive moves. So just understand, inflation is here to stay. What the Elliott hedge fund managers are warning about, hyperinflation and societal breakdown and collapse, is correct. And what the Fed is saying is an untruth. Just like inflation isn't transitory, they're already pivoting. We are in a recession now. They're going to stop at about 4 to 5% on the interest rate hikes. It's going to squeeze consumers in the credit markets. Then they're going to balk and stop and start easing and pivoting from there. So this is when you want to build your base and prepare for those 1000x gains I believe are coming very, very soon. Get in, learn my picks, get into the islandprojectclub.com. It's Friday today before the price goes up. I am raising the prices. So get in now. Click the link below. That's islandprojectclub.com. And I want to hear what you think about Trump's indictment coming very soon, his election running plans, what you think about what's going on in North Korea. I mean, many political analysts have always said, including myself, that North Korea will be the event that causes World War III. There's going to be some kind of nuke test. Even the Pentagon is warning about this right now. So it's getting really, really bad, but this is the plan. And so as we see Benjamin Netanyahu re-cement himself in political power, as Trump re-cement himself in political power, as we live through this spiritual warfare, as Elon Musk now admits that he bought Twitter for the AI conscious hive mind, which he has warned is summoning the demon, his exact words, having recently dressed up as Satan for Halloween. I mean, this couldn't get any more obvious. They're not even hiding it anymore. And as a blood moon lunar eclipse is set to rise on election day next week on Tuesday over the United States, I can't help but say buckle up and get ready. More importantly, profit, ladies and gentlemen. Get into crypto today. Get into the islandprojectclub.com. Register, get my picks, help us build these decentralized communities for your own success to create the cash flows and the homesteads that you're going to need to survive and thrive 1,000 freaking X. And I'll leave you with this, just a little motivation today, because we all go through our struggles, just like my first video crashed. But it's persistence what really matters. So here is a little bit of a pep talk I'll give you. The pro is the person who has all the hassles, frustrations, daily inconsistencies that everybody else has, yet continues to persist, does the job and makes it look easy. Hashtag 1000X. The pro, the professional, is the person who has all the same hassles, frustrations, daily inconsistencies that everybody else has, yet continues to persist, does the job and makes it look easy. 1000 freaking X, ladies and gentlemen. Island Project Club and also islandproject.com. Get into the real estate portfolio now and click those links.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Christopher Greene, founder and creator of the Island Project, islandproject.com and islandprojectclub.com, the first tokenized real estate solution in Maui, in beautiful Maui and Hawaii and Oahu in the world, fractionalizing real estate, oceanfront, beachfront, high cash flows, large potential capital gains, and more importantly, 1000X opportunity tokenized. Here's what you need to do. There's links below. Enroll and fill out an application at islandproject.com to get into the private placement if you're already a member at our school, and do this as well. Join islandprojectclub.com, which includes first mover early bird access to me, 30-minute phone call for the first 10 of you that join today, and a lot more regarding our public launch and roadmap before the public. Get into both of those now today. That's islandproject.com and also islandprojectclub.com. Join the revolution, the Island Project, the first tokenized billionaire blockchain in the world. Maui booyah, hard hitting it in your face. Awesome for good. We're going to the freaking moon and beyond. Links below and up here. Register now.